It's a beautiful day here at Cedar Lakes.
I'm in Death Valley.
Just win.
And sometimes when you live in a small town,
there are no strangers.
Kickoff as an award-winning sports writer and stadium voice at Ripley High for 30 years.
So I'm the one-man director of the Ripley Convention and Visitors Bureau.
We're now joined by the legendary PA voice of the Vikings, Mike Rubin. Rube, welcome to the broadcast.
Thank you, Brian. It's good to be here.
Good evening, fans, and welcome to the campus of Ripley High School for tonight's game as the Warren local Warriors take on your Ripley Vikings.
It's truly been a great ride with the Vikings this fall, and we'll hope that journey continues for a few more weeks.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, from Evans to Cottageville, from Kennet to New Era, Ripley High School is proud to present the pride of Jackson County, the Ripley Viking Band.
You always want to be the king where you live. No matter if you're at a basketball game, a baseball game, or what it is, you want to be the king where you live.
Thank you so much for joining us behind all the home games at Ripley High School. You're so much a part of the atmosphere there, and we appreciate you being with us tonight.
All right, fans, it's football time in Death Valley. Let's go!
Being 22-0 going into sectional play.
Nope, not a bit. I think, the confidence they would have if they continue to win games, it just mounts, it builds. I don't know that these kids, with some of the close games that they've had, feel a whole lot of pressure. They just go out and take care of business, and it's one game at a time. It doesn't matter if we're playing Nitro, if we're playing Point Pleasant, we're playing Winfield in section. You got to beat that opponent on that night. All the seasonal win-losses go out the window when the section starts. So it's just like starting anew. I think our kids like it. They like being undefeated. They like people talking about them. They're thriving on it right now.
Vikings back on the floor down to our left. From Jeff and I's broadcast position here courtside at the Health Center. Vikings in their home white. Blue numerals, blue lettering with blue trim on the side of the shorts and jerseys. Point Pleasant in town tonight. Road blacks, white lettering, white numerals, white and red trim. This goes back a long way with Point Pleasant. These two teams you mentioned a moment ago, they do not like each other. Fan bases don't particularly care much for each other either. And it can get a bit contentious. It did last year, both down there and here, and I expect it to be a little bit that way here tonight. Their fans don't like you or I. They've complained about you or I on social media, so we know what to expect.
Yeah, we're homers, and we proudly admit that. But seriously, Brian, I remember playing in their old gym at the old high school and the rivalries that went on. I remember playing in Oak and Bucket games where we really didn't have a chance to win in football. That was brought back, of course, during the Frank Marino era, and basketball, we've kind of taken control of the games that we played here. So, it's still a rivalry. We don't like them, they don't like us, and that's okay. It's not like it used to be, I don't believe. But it does get pretty intense. And us being 10-0 tonight, they're going to come out and give us a run. They got nothing to lose, and they're going to come out and try to, put us in that L column, which we definitely don't want to be.
Best start in school history, 15-0, 1964 and 65. The Vikings look to inch closer to that here tonight. They would improve to 11-0 with a victory over an old rival, the Point Pleasant Black Knights in town. We'll step out when we return. We'll have the starting lineups in the opening tip. The Viking basketball here tonight. You've been listening to the WVU Medicine Jackson General Hospital countdown to tip-off right here, C98, The Bull.
singing of our national anthem.
Murphy. At guard, a 6'1" sophomore, number 11, Grant Barton. At guard, a 5'10" sophomore, number 12, Asher Robinson. At forward, a 6'1" junior, number 30, Grayson Tucker. And at center, a 6'7" senior, number 33, Eric Chapman. The Big Blacks are coached by Josh Williams, assisted by Scott Justice and John Polson. Now for your Ripley Vikings. He wears number 23, a 5'11" junior guard, Cade Good. A 6'4" junior forward, number 21, Brady Anderson. A 5'9" junior guard, number 20, Virgil Myers. A 6'1" senior guard, number 11, Isaiah Casto. And at center, a 6'11" senior, number 1, Luke Johnson. The Vikings are coached by Derek Mullins, assisted by Jamison Hunt and Stevens.
That's Tom Hunter, public address announcer for tonight's game, as we still all heal up from the loss of Mike Rubin, but Tom Hunter has done a fantastic job filling in for some big shoes, and it's good to have him with us on a nightly basis here at the Health Center.
Sure is, partner. Still miss that guy we called Rube.
Yeah, we'll never quite recover from that one, and I don't think Ripley will either, Jeff. Mike Rubin did so much for this community, as we've documented over the last couple of weeks. So we all just band together and try to fill the shoes as 6'11" controls the tip. Vikings have it, moving right to left. Casto across the timeline.
Point Pleasant in the 3-2 zone to start the game.
Johnson in the corner, off to Myers, near side to Casto, back to Myers, right wing. Near corner to Good, down on the block. Great ball movement. Luke Johnson gets an easy bucket.
There are gaps in that zone if we'll just be patient, and we were that time.
They move the basketball beautifully. Cade Good gets the assist, and Grant Barton and Murphy bring it across the timeline to Chapman, the big man who can handle the basketball. We talked about him, well documented how good of a player he is. As Peyton Murphy now has it, guarded by Myers. Off to Chapman at the elbow. He'll go to work on Johnson, up and under, and he's going to be fouled. And that's the problem for the Vikings. He can put the ball on the deck, and we've got to stay in front of him and not reach. He draws an early foul on the Vikings.
And Luke's a little concerned about that call, as he thought he tried to avoid the foul, but gets caught. And you're right, Chapman's big and strong, and he can do those type things. So we just got to avoid, keep him in front, get the hands up.
Chapman on the board as he makes the first, one of two. Early going here at the Health Center, 7:13 remaining in the first quarter. Makes both. It's a good-looking shot. And if you can't afford to let him get going here tonight, cross court now to Myers, right wing, back to Casto, near corner, good. Thinks about a three baseline drive, now reverses it back to Casto between the circles. Back to Good in the corner, he'll shoot a three, got it.
And he has been shooting the ball so good. Has K Good as he knocks down the three from deep in the corner.
5-2 Vikings. Vikings turn the heat up. Myers nearly with a steal cross court to Chapman up the far sideline. They'll get it into the front court. He'll bring it back out. Hand it off to Murphy. Murphy drives to the basket. Nobody stops the ball, and he lays it in.
Vikings
5-4.
overplaying, and you said we would apply pressure, but when you do that, sometimes you get the blow-by, and there was nobody there to help, as you called it.
Vikings falling asleep on the back end of that defense. Short corner, Anderson. Ball deflected out of bounds off of Anderson. Turnover Vikings. 5-4, the Vikings lead at 6:19 to go here in the first quarter. Vikings 10-0. Point Pleasant enters tonight's game at 4-5. Here's Barton. Nice pass off to a cutting Murphy. He can't hang on. He digs it out, the loose ball. Now Chapman in the far corner. Anderson guarding him. I like the matchup of Anderson and Chapman from a strength side. Shot up, no good. From Tucker, rebounded Murphy. Murphy to Chapman, guarded by Anderson. He'll back it out, go to work. Picks up his dribble, gives back to Murphy. Murphy out to Tucker for three, good.
You called it, buddy. You can't leave him open. You got to get a hand in his face. He thought he made the first one when he shot it. Got the long rebound, gave him a second chance, and he drilled it.
First lead of the night for the Big Blacks, 7-5. They lead it. Toss it up to Luke at the rim. He can't finish. Good opportunity there, missed for the Vikings. Asher Robinson with the rebound, and Murphy will slowly walk it across the timeline. He hands it off to Chapman, rather. Another deep three, this time from Tucker. Rebounded again, this one by Barton. Nice drive to the basket, can't finish. Tucker rebounded high was Luke Johnson. Vikings into the front court looking to tie it up or possibly take the lead with 4:55 to go first quarter. Trailing by 2. Myers back to Casto. Skip pass in the corner to Good. Here comes another three. In and out. Rebounded by Barton. Good looking shot. Just didn't fall.
I think Cade thought he made that one too.
When you're shooting the way he is, I think everything that comes out of his hand right now he thinks is going in, and that's a good thing. He needs to keep shooting. 4:30 to go first quarter. Nice crossover by Barton.
Well, there's strength on strength as Anderson on Chapman.
Chapman, tough baseline shot, and just a silly foul there, Jeff.
Had him stopped. All he had to do is go straight up.
Brady leans on him a little bit and fouls him. Good job by Chapman to draw that foul. Dylan Casto's going to check in.
A little bit of a bailout that Brady allowed there because we had him stopped, and a tough shot. If he makes it, okay. But now we put him at the line. He's going to shoot 2 free ones.
Rolls the first one over and across, and it falls out. So Dylan Casto will check in for Virgil Myers. We'll see if that hot shooting in pregame continues for the junior. Chapman, very deliberate at the free throw line. Couple of dribbles, long look, shot up, good. 8-5. Point Pleasant, largest lead of the night. Early going here from Ripley. Casto in the corner, back to Isaiah Casto between the circles. Now to Johnson, left of the circle. Isaiah had a look at it. Now Dylan will get a three.
Got it.
Three-pointer, Dylan Casto. Give the assist to Isaiah Casto, and we're tied at 8. Here's Barton into the front court quickly to Robinson. Robinson gets a screen, cross court to Tucker, right wing. Down on the block. They are down baseline, rather. They go to Chapman. Tough pull-up. Won't go. Defended well that time by Brady. And the Vikings quickly into the front court. Ball nearly turned over. Good defense, Jeff, by Asher Robinson to deflect it out of bounds.
Vikings will inbound underneath their own basket. Let's see if we've got something in store for them.
Casto to Anderson, right under the basket. Layup good. And one. That will be on Grayson Tucker.
And Tucker tried to muscle Luke out of the middle. Brady cuts behind him, wide open. He couldn't recover and picks up the foul.
Anderson, free throw. Too strong. Rebounded by Chapman. Vikings, little 5-0 surge here to grab a 10-8 advantage with 3:30 to go in the first quarter. Chapman, baseline drive, reverses it out to Barton. Now cross court to Asher. Ball loose. He gathers it in. Down to Chapman again. He'll go to work on Anderson. That's a good matchup, and what a fantastic play by Eric Chapman to finish at the basket. 10-10 your score.
He's a load down there, Brian, when he catches it that deep.
Johnson gets a look at the three. The 6'11" big man rolls it in from left of the circle. And I'm going to tell you, Coach Mullins has taken a timeout, not because of the shot selection, because of the defense on the other end. He's going to take a 30-second timeout with a 13-10 lead.
Yeah, we've allowed Chapman to get very deep, and that's not good for Brady or Luke if they're guarding. And to see what's going on out there for them. It's just tough.
3:03 remaining here in the quarter as the Vikings clinging to a 3-point lead. Out of the timeout here, will be interesting to see what they're going to do defensively, Jeff, as Coach Mullins is all about defense. He's not going – you're going to see him call more timeouts when he gets a defensive breakdown, more so than a poor possession on the offensive end.
Yeah, without a doubt. He's just not going to allow the defense not to play hard and not get stops.
Point Pleasant gets it across the timeline. It's Chapman. 2:55 to go here in the first quarter. 13-10. The Vikings lead it. Murphy to Chapman. Baseline jumper, no good.
And that's the one we want him to shoot, Brian, is those type of hook shots. Not a good solid shot.
Anderson clears it. Vikings back into the front court. Isaiah Casto. Nice little finish in the painted area. A couple head and shoulders fakes, and the Vikings back out by 5.
And there's a kid that's pretty strong inside, too, when he gets that deep.
So Chapman up the near sideline. Right-hand dribble waist high into the front court in front of Viking head coach Derek Mullins. He'll try to back down Brady Anderson. He is so nifty with the basketball. What a finish through contact, and then he gives the Viking student section a stare down.
They're going to call that on Cade Good, I do believe.
And that's probably a break for the Vikings, Jeff. That could have easily gone on Brady Anderson.
Yeah, Cade was coming to help that time. Got there a little bit late. Chapman had already made his move. And what Brady's going to have to do is get down, instead of being so high, kind of get down under him and use the leverage that he has to keep him from, lowering that shoulder and getting in there.
Virgil Myers checks back in as Chapman, 3-point play the old-fashioned way. He has 7, leads all scorers. Dylan, baseline drive, floater, got it. That's big. He's got 5 here off the bench in the first quarter. 17-13. Vikings back out by 4. Chapman goes to work on Johnson. They're going to keep the ball in his hands, crossover into the paint. Maybe got away with the travel. In the corner to Lambert. Lambert back down on the block. They go to Chapman. Spin move, nowhere to go. Tough shot. You got to tip your cap to Josh Chapman as he has 9 points.
He's a player. We talked about it before the game. He can do it from the inside. He can do it from the outside. He handles the ball well.
Casto's 3. Dillon, that is no good. Rebounded by Isaiah. Cade Good fouled on the shot. Wouldn't fall, but he's going to the free throw line.
Looked good when it left Dillon's hand, just off the back of the iron, but a long rebound. The Vikings were able to corral it.
We're going to say it was on the ground, and that's on Eric Chapman, his first. In the corner to Cade, back to Virgil. Virgil will dribble it back out, skip pass in the corner to Good. Now to Dillon Casto. Back out to Good, near corner, baseline drive, off to Luke, dunk it home, big fella.
There we go, great ball movement that time, a lot of penetration.
19-15, they're gonna correct the foul. That should have been on
Josh Chapman. Instead of Eric, which is a benefit for Point Pleasant.
19-15. 1 minute remaining here in the first quarter. Vikings lead it. Chapman into the front court. Crossover. Looking for a screen from Josh Chapman. Skip pass. Lambert back to Eric Chapman. Eric replaces him in the corner. Looking for a 3. Skip pass to Murphy. Left wing rather. Now in the far corner to Barton. 3, no good. Rebounded by Luke.
And one thing that Point Pleasant has done is spread us out. They have really got good spacing on the offense, which allows them to get those one-on-one.
Luke's going to be fouled, and it will be Josh Chapman, I believe, once again on the personal foul.
Yep.
That'll be 2 on the Chapman off the bench here in the second period. Brady Casto and Carson Hedrick will check in. Luke misses the first free throw.
19-15 Vikings, just 29 seconds to go here. Brian, this game has really been slow for the Vikings on the offensive end. Them going to that zone has really slowed down our offense.
Second one on the way. Luke makes it, and now I don't think he realized he was coming out of the game if he made it. Brady Anderson will check in. 29.7 to go. 20-15, the Vikings lead it here in the first quarter.
They almost inbounded that before we got our players in.
Hockey substitutions from the Viking bench. Here's Lambert, right wing, looking to get it on the block to Josh Chapman. Big mismatch down there with Cade Good guarding him. Clears a little space. Good defense by Cade. Back to Lambert. Lambert goes to work on Dillon Casto. Back to Eric Chapman. Now to Murphy. Murphy steps into a little floater. Bounces off the back of the iron and drops in. As time expires here in the first quarter, the Vikings are going to take a lead 20-17 into the second period here from the Health Center. Vikings hosting the Point Pleasant Big Blacks on C98, the Bolt. Prepare to begin second quarter action here from the Health Center. Pretty good start, Jeff, as Point Pleasant really tried to slow things down in that quarter. Still managed to get to 20 And that's kind of the benchmark for the Vikings. They want to get around 70 to 80 points per game. If you can get around 20 a quarter, you're going to give yourself a chance to win a lot of games.
You know, and Coach Mullins talked about this. Sometimes we guard players out too far, which creates great driving lanes and opportunities to pass. We got to recognize who can shoot it for Point Pleasant and who can't. And that way you always got help back on Chapman.
Point Pleasant into the front court. Barton with it. Hands off to Murphy. Murphy gets a screen from Chapman. Nice pass down on the block to Josh Chapman. He lays it in. Beautiful delivery from Grant Barton.
And a lot of holes out there in the Viking defense to start this ball game, Brian. I know Coach Mullins isn't happy about it.
20-19, the Vikings lead it. 7:30 to go here in the first half. Good. Back to Isaiah Casto. Drives it down the block to Anderson. A beautiful pass and a great block by Eric Chapman. He climbs the elevator to block that one.
Chapman's just a one-man gang out there for Point Pleasant, both ends of the floor.
Lambert gets a look at a three. No good. Eric Chapman rebounds it, puts it up, and draws the foul on Brady Anderson. The Vikings got caught watching, and that will make Coach Mullins somewhat angry.
Yeah, and, you know, it just mentioned about letting guys that probably aren't going to be consistent out there shoot it. Well, that's exactly what happened, as Lambert barely, if any, caught any iron, but we didn't hustle and go get that rebound.
So Chapman, free throw number 5 and 6 coming. Brady will have to sit down Virgil Myers back in for him.
So the Viking defense that was so stellar the other night has not been able to figure out what Point Pleasant's doing offensively.
The big right-hander has 11. Once again, he has been a thorn in the Vikings' side. And a foul. Wow, that's Josh Chapman, his third on the free throw, Jeff. 21-20, Point Pleasant leads it. I have not seen that called. I'm not sure ever. Trevin McMillian will check in.
You need to draw 3 on 33. That's their go-to.
Vikings looking to grab a lead back, trailing by a point here. Nice no-look pass down on the block to Luke. Jump hook, no good. Rebounded.
And I think Chapman has kind of taken on this challenge. You know, everyone in the state's heard about Luke Johnson. He's got a target on his back every game, and I think Chapman has really accepted the challenge
Good
here.
With a beautiful pass down on the block. Luke, the two-handed flush and the foul. He's going to the line. Cade Good with a couple of outstanding deliveries, setting Luke up for dunks here in this first half.
First I thought he was going to wave it off and say it was on the ground, but no way, as Luke powered that one up.
Peyton Murphy tagged with the foul. Free throw, no good. Vikings struggling from the line again. Murphy boards it. 22-21, Vikings lead it. Lambert, pass, good with the steal. Good play by Cade Good. Now back to Isaiah Casto. Dylan Casto back to Isaiah between the circles. Dylan gives it in the corner to Myers. Ball deflected out of bounds by McMillian.
Vikings out of kilter a little bit. Had too many guys on one side of the floor. No spacing, but now they got to figure it out as Virgil comes through.
Virgil left wing, back to Isaiah right wing. Skip pass in the corner to Good. He'll drive it baseline. Back to Virgil for three. Too strong. Lambert boards it. And a foul is going to be called on the Vikings. Quick whistles here tonight on both teams. That's Dylan Casto, his first.
Dylan Casto, his first.
Team's fifth.
Hedrick into the game for the Vikings, replacing Virgil Myers.
22-21, 6 minutes remaining here in the first half. Vikings clinging to a 1-point lead. Here's Barton with it. Vikings going to start trapping. Chapman, nobody stops the basketball, takes it home and dunks it back out on top. The Big Blacks. Luke, near corner, Good. Back to Dylan Casto, three on the way, off the mark. Hedrick tracks down the board. Good play by Carson Hedrick. Vikings get another possession, trailing 23-22 with 5:25 to go here in the first half. Skip pass in the corner to Good. He penetrates, floater in the paint, too strong, and kept alive by Casto. Johnson's shot won't go, kept alive by Good. Second look for Luke, and he finishes.
Coach Mullins wanting the Vikings to apply some pressure, try to turn the Big Blacks over.
24-23, Lambert has the green light. Almost shot another one from the far corner. Passes off to Murphy. Under 5 to go first half. Murphy left wing, hounded by Isaiah Casto. Eric Chapman on the block. Reverses it back out to McMillian. In the corner to Barton for 3, too strong. Luke clears it from the Vikings, looking to add to that 1-point lead. Hedrick, corner 3, too short. Hedrick and Good collide. Chapman boards it, calls timeout. Heads up play there by Eric Chapman.
Yeah, Chapman got away with the grab. Hedrick had that ball, and he grabbed his arm, pulled it down, and got loose, and he was able to corral it. So good play there by the senior for Point Pleasant.
Full timeout. Let's take 1-2, Jeff. 24-23. Vikings lead at 4:27 to go here in the first half. You're listening to Viking basketball on C98 The Bull.
In Ripley.
Into the game for Point Pleasant in the second quarter with 4:22 to go. Chapman, degree of difficulty on that shot. Nearly rolled it in, boarded by Luke Johnson. Down on the block to Dylan Casto. Cut off, reverses it back out to Hedrick. Now Luke, straight away, right wing, Isaiah, back to Hedrick. Hedrick fumbles it, gathers it back in, back out between the circles to Isaiah. Hedrick, left wing 3, too short, rebounded by Chapman. That one looked good all the way, just came up a hair short. Point Pleasant back out on the offensive end, looking to grab the lead back as Dylan Casto deflects it out of bounds.
Virgil Myers back in the game. He'll be replacing Carson Hedrick to the Viking lineup.
3:47 to go. There's Murphy looking for space. Chapman, long 3, in and out. Dylan Casto boards it. Vikings back the other way. Isaiah to Dylan. Dylan back to Isaiah between the circles. Dylan passes on a 3 in the corner to Good. Good double team near corner. Ball deflected off to Myers. So Isaiah fakes a 3, drives, floater, good.
And we've got to get some movement down there and a little bit of penetration, Brian. That was a good job.
Virgil with the steal. Vikings turn it over. They had an opportunity. Got a little greedy. Maybe one too many passes.
Yeah, I like Isaiah's chances taking that thing up on that little runner. But he was trying to feed Cade, and Cade was a little closer. Just an awful short pass there for Cade to handle with a little bit of mustard on it.
Timeout. Point Pleasant is now, Jeff, might be an opportunity for the Vikings. It's a 30-second timeout to maybe put a little space between them and Point Pleasant. You saw who went to the bench, Eric Chapman. He's going to grab a breather here real quickly.
Yeah, I mean, that young man has played a heck of a ball game on both ends of the floor, scoring, got a block shot down there, looked like a layup for Brady. And, you know, just he's what makes them go. You know, they've got some role players, and they know their roles, but the bottom line is you try to find him every possession and let him work his way either to the basket. He's shot threes, he's shot mid-range jumpers, he's shot hooks. So they're looking to him to guide them to the promised land and do their scoring.
It's not just his size, Jeff. It's he's so skilled with the basketball. You know, I think without a doubt he's the best big outside of Luke and Brady we've seen all season long from an opponent's perspective. As Barton with it in the front court to Murphy. Murphy will shoot a three. Too strong. High for the board. Isaiah Casto. Other end, shot up, no good. Late whistle, he's going to the line. We'll see who that's on. Point Pleasant fan base will not be pleased with the late whistle. That's going to be on Peyton Murphy, his second, team sixth.
And a good job by Isaiah of just taking that thing off the bounce all the way to the rack. Thought he got himself too far under.
67% free throw shooter on the year, and he misses the first. It's been a bugaboo all season long for this Viking team. They have shot better from the floor than they have the free throw line as he makes the first. Lead back to 4, 27-23. Man wide open down floor, and they are late to find him, and then they throw it away.
Coach Williams saying, be strong with it. That's the right pass. You just got to be strong with it. We had some guys that saw it. I think it was Isaiah and Virgil that were on the fly to go defend it.
Didn't take long for Chapman to come off the bench. Corner three from Castro. Got it, Dylan Castro.
I didn't even charge him for that, brother.
You should have. He has 8 off the bench. 30-28. Dylan Castro nearly comes up with the steal. Great hustle.
And yes, good hustle
by the Vikings on the other end.
Both Dylan and Luke running the floor. Great tip by Dylan and a great save off the Point Pleasant defender and out of bounds. So the Vikings, as you said, have a chance to extend this thing.
When shots are falling, how much better everything in your game clicks. Right now, Dylan Castro playing great off the bench.
Penetrate.
Isaiah penetrates. Nobody stops the ball. 8-footer, no good. Chapman boards it. Off of Chapman. He was holding the basketball, tried to throw it off of Isaiah, and they're going to say he was out of bounds.
Let's see what we got here.
Isaiah to Good. Off to Johnson. Ball deflected. Now Johnson gathers it in. Dylan Castro back to Virgil. Now Johnson. Here's a baseline drive by Isaiah. Ball passed back out. Dylan Castro straightaway three.
Got it!
Look out. Dylan Castro with 11 off the bench.
Somebody take a hit. He's going to.
Corner three. Good. Great shot. That's Grant Barton. He cans a three in transition. Back to a 6-point game. Dylan Castro, another three. Got it!
He's on fire!
36-26. Castro steals it. 1:15 to go. Virgil to Isaiah. Find the hot hand. Back to Myers. Back to Virgil. Back to Isaiah. Now Dylan Castro. Three. Got it!
It's raining threes.
39-26. 17 points off the bench for the junior.
And a steal.
Virgil with the deflection. Good floater. No good. Isaiah can't connect. Virgil boards it. Or excuse me. Good boards it. Back to the line. Wow. How about it, Jeff?
You gotta love it. Just that quickly, the Vikings jump out to a 13-point lead.
Virgil will stay in the ball game as Good misses the free throw.
And Cade Good, who is probably the guy who went at the line for us. It's even caught him a little bit on that first. These kids expended a bunch of energy in those last couple minutes.
Good free throw. We're going to call lane violation, I believe. He made it. No shot. 39-26. Dylan Casto with 17 points. Shot Dr. Jeff Waybright taking a little credit for that one, and Isaiah with the foul in the backcourt, but that's his first.
I didn't shoot any of them. I just showed him a little bit of technique to get him going.
Confidence will do.
Yeah, he was just stroking it the other day.
How different is this offense with him making shots like that? Into the front court, McMillian. McMillian to Chapman, baseline drive, spin move. What a move. Shot won't go, gets his own board, lays it back up and in.
That's where somebody's just got to fill in there and take a hit. He was out of control with that spin and would have ran right over somebody, and you know what these guys like to call.
Oh, they love to call the charge. What a nifty move by the big man. 39-28, Vikings can hold for the final shot. 12 seconds. 9 seconds. Myers, 6 seconds. They got to hurry. 5 seconds. 3. Virgil, deep three. Got it! Knuckles off the back iron and falls in. 42-28. The Vikings take a big lead into the halftime break. We'll return with the Johnson Insurance Agency halftime report after this, right here on C98, The Bull.
It's a beautiful day here at Cedar Lakes.
Just win. And sometimes when you live in a small town,
there are no strangers.
Kickoff as an award-winning sports writer and stadium voice at Ripley High for 30 years.
So I'm the one-man director of the Ripley Convention and Visitors Bureau.
We're now joined by the legendary PA voice of the Vikings, Mike Rubin. Rube, welcome to the broadcast.
Thank you, Brian. It's good to be here.
Good evening, fans, and welcome to the campus of Ripley High School for tonight's game as the Warren local Warriors take on your Ripley Vikings.
It's truly been a great ride with the Vikings this fall, and we'll hope that journey continues for a few more weeks.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, from Evans to Cottageville, from Kennet to New Era, Ripley High School is proud to present the pride of Jackson County, the Ripley Viking Band.
You always want to be the king where you live. No matter if you're at a basketball game, a baseball game, or what it is, you want to be the king where you live.
Thank you so much for joining us behind all the home games at Ripley High School. You're so much a part of the atmosphere there, and we appreciate you being with us tonight.
All right, fans, it's football time in Death Valley.
Of 7 from the free throw line, 29%. They have got to fix the free throw shooting. It's going to cost them in a key moment if they're not able to make free throws.
Well, Brian, you know you got a lot of pressure out there. You got a guy right in your face. You got hands waving. You got guys pushing on. I jest, of course. They're free throws. And I've been here in practice, and you have too, and you've seen them shoot them. And there's consequences when you don't make them. But you get in a game situation, and it just seems like sometimes, I don't know if it's a concentration thing. I mean, with Isaiah, the first shot that he put up from the foul line looked like he hadn't shot a foul shot. Then he swishes the next one. So it could be concentration. It could be rushing it a little bit. Sometimes Brady gets a little quick at the foul line. So I don't know, but it's something you're exactly right. You know, in close games down the stretch, especially in tournament games, they make such a big difference.
We're getting chastised a little bit about how excited we're getting here in this first half. But, Jeff, I couldn't be more happy for Dylan Casto. There's not a kid on the floor that worked harder in the offseason. There's not a kid that was ready for this season to start any more than he. And he's really struggled to begin the season. He lost his confidence. He wasn't shooting well. And maybe tonight is the night where it clicks for him. He averaged 16, 17 points in fall ball. He can score it. He can shoot it. And if he gets going, it's another level for the Vikings.
It was nothing major with him, Brian. It's just the little thing, and that's all it takes, especially when you're shooting the ball from the perimeter. It doesn't take much between a miss and a make, shooting it short, shooting it left, shooting it right, and then it gets in your head. And you just got to get it right, and you got to break it down, and you know, that's all that happened. And like I said, all he needed to do was see the ball go through the net. And when he saw that, and all the mechanics are right, it makes it easy. I mean, he was shooting the ball early in the season, and he was shooting it against himself. He was really making it hard. You saw tonight, everything's free-flowing. Everything's in motion. He's catching and shooting all in one motion, and it's hitting the bottom of the net. I just hope it continues in the second half. He was really tired at the end of that quarter. He expended a lot of energy, and boy, I'm glad he did.
You look at Point Pleasant from their perspective, Jeff, and I don't think it's any secret. They're going to feed Eric Chapman, as they should. He was huge in that first half, 5 of 10 from the floor, 5 of 6 from the line. He had 7 rebounds and a block to go along with 15 points. This kid's as advertised, Jeff. He's a fantastic player. And again, we've talked a lot about what makes him so difficult is he's big, he's strong, he's agile. He looks like a tight end out there. Very, very difficult to defend. A tough defend for Luke because he's stronger than Luke, and a tough defend for Brady because he's taller than Brady.
Yeah, and it's very interesting, but the old adage is 1 shouldn't beat 5. And, you know, you hear it said a lot. Well, you know, he's going to get his. We just got to stop everybody else. And if he outscores us on his own, we'll tip our hat. That's not going to happen. But he is, as you said, a very, very good player. Probably the best we've seen thus far in the post of any opponent that the Vikings have played.
All right, Jeff, we'll step out and return. We'll have second half action here from the Health Center. The Vikings lead at 42-28. Can they keep it going in the second half? We'll find out next, right here on C98, The Ball.
Calvin Powers in.
Wanting to duck your breather.
Second half underway. Vikings miss a 12-footer in their first attempt, leading at 42-28. Point Pleasant coming back to our left. Here's Barton. Back to Eric Chapman. Chapman drives baseline. Turnover.
Stolen.
Luke with the steal. They go man-to-man here, Jeff, to begin this second half.
Look for him to clear out for Isaiah.
Isaiah to Luke. Luke shoots a tough turnaround shot. Won't go. Brady rebounds it. Shot blocked out of bounds by Chapman. Viking basketball. Good rebound by Brady.
There's no way that they can guard Isaiah out on the perimeter man-to-man, so.
Dylan Casto from Isaiah off the inbounds. Back to Dylan. He drives baseline, cut off. Back to Luke in the corner. Luke back top circle to Good. Far corner now. Isaiah. Vikings move left to right from our broadcast position here courtside. Dylan passes on a three. Goes to Luke. Luke spins on Chapman. Won't go. Rebounded by Good. Vikings get another opportunity. Great play by Cade Good to snatch that rebound. Third opportunity on this particular end for the Vikings. Good gets a screen from Luke. Left-hand shot. Ton of contact. No call. Late whistle. 2 shots for Good. The offside official called that. Jeff, he was as far from the play as possible. Certainly a lot of contact.
Great drive by Cade as he saw the opening. He took it in there strong, laid it up with the offhand, the left hand, and got the call.
One of our better free throw shooters, Cade Good at the line. No good. 2 for 8, the Vikings.
It just doesn't make sense, does it, partner? We've seen them in practice knock these things down, and it just doesn't carry over to the game.
42-28, score holds, second one good. Cade with 4 here in the ball game. 43-28, largest lead of the night for the Vikings. Barton into the front court up the near side. And another offside official call, and this is on Good as Eric Chapman tries to set a screen, and Cade runs right through it. And I'm going to say this, Jeff. It was a foul, but I have a hard time believing Cade Good could make the big man, Eric Chapman, fall that easily to the floor, and I'll just leave it at that.
I think you're right, but Cade had a head of steam, and he was hustling back on the defensive end.
It's a heads-up play by Eric Chapman, no question.
Yeah, he was trying to create some space for Barton as he was being hounded coming up the floor.
6:23 to go, third period, 43-28. Vikings lead it. Murphy inbounds to our left here at the scorer's table. Gets it into Chapman, back to Murphy. Murphy gets a screen from Chapman, drives to the basket, floater off the back iron, no good. Anderson boards it.
Here come the Vikings on the fly. Point Pleasant is back.
Good. Off the drive, back to Isaiah Casto. He'll baseline drive it, takes it strong in, can't finish. And a foul is going to be called on. That will be on Asher Robinson, his second.
Good strong drive there for Isaiah. And, man-to-man, he is such a weapon.
Isaiah rolls in the first free throw. He has 8 tonight.
And the weapon is his penetration. He finishes strong. He can take the hit.
I like the way he shoots it, Jeff. He didn't even dribble it. He makes both of them. He doesn't take time to think about it. He just gets it in rhythm and fires it. He makes both. 45-28, Vikings lead it. Quick throw ahead. Barton, he'll shoot a 15-footer. Uncontested, buries it in transition. 45-30 now, Vikings lead it.
Vikings got lost, and Luke is pulling up, and, we're man-to-man everywhere, but I don't think we need to be guarding Chapman.
Good, near corner 3, in and out. rebounded by Josh Chapman. Point Pleasant beats the Vikings down the floor. Vikings get there just in time to stop it. Now, Eric Chapman banks in a three in transition.
Bank open late in Ripley tonight.
He has 18, leading all scorers.
They cut this to a 12-point game.
Vikings have to be careful. Isaiah drive, tough drive. A lot of contact, and there's the offensive foul. You know they love to call.
And you got 12 that just was mugging Isaiah down the lane, and Coach Mullins comes up and pats the lead official and said, you know, he can't ride him down that lane like that.
And you have to encourage Isaiah to keep taking the ball to the basket like that. He's so good in traffic. So here they come, chance to cut it to 10 or under 10 with a three, and Dylan Casto is going to be caught with his hand in the cookie jar. His second personal. The Murphy will inbound again to our left into Robinson. Robinson guarded by Casto. Back to Murphy. Murphy drives it, ball loose. Cade good, steals it. Here he comes in transition. Floater, too strong. Ran down by Anderson. Anderson to Johnson, flush. And a delay of game or timeout. I think Cade took a shot.
Yeah, he did.
He's coming out.
And let's get Steve Lowe over there. Cade quickly goes to the bench.
So good out. Hopefully
Virgil
he's
in.
okay. Here comes Chapman in transition, runs over Brady Anderson.
And they're going to call the charge as they love it.
Not a great call, but we'll take it.
Brady moved very late in that, but as you said and have said throughout the season,
Man,
your chances are real good at getting that call.
Absolutely love to make that call. And as a defender, you have to force them to make that call. Both teams have done a nice job of that here tonight. Luke, three-pointer left of the circle, short. Rebounded by Barton. Here comes Point Pleasant, quickly back the other way. Trapped in the near corner, back to Murphy. Down to Chapman. They're going to work on Luke. Nice little lean in. Brings the ball low. Isaiah's going to pick up his third personal.
He was going down on the double down and was really trying to dig that ball out as Chapman brought it down around his knees and gets caught. And now Hedrick will come into the game. 4:20 to go here in the third period. Vikings lead 47-33. And Isaiah picks up his third foul.
Here's Chapman, left of the circle. Lambert in as well. Cross court to Barton. Barton gets a screen from Chapman. He'll go to work on Johnson. Pass in the corner. Lambert, shot blocked by Virgil. Lambert's got the green light. Virgil knew it. Virgil blocks it out of bounds.
Yeah, I don't think he expected Verge to have those kind of hops, and we know he does, and he's a quick jumper, so he gets off the floor very quickly.
Great defensive recovery by the athletic Virgil Myers. And speaking of athletic, what a spin move baseline by Eric Chapman. He has 20.
And you just can't show. You got to show and take the hit, the contact. And he avoided it. Got a mismatch inside with Brady being guarded by Lambert.
47-35. Hedrick will drive it on Robinson. Back to Myers. Cross court to Anderson. Anderson to Dylan Casto. He'll shoot a contested three. That one's short. Rebounded by Lambert. Quickly into the front court again, Barton. Back to Robinson, nice back cut. Can't connect, gets his own rebound, and a foul's gonna be called on the Vikings. Vikings getting beat to some 50-50 balls, Jeff.
Getting beat on some 50-50 balls, and we gotta get the offense moving again. We were better when we were having some movement. They went man-to-man, which I thought would be a huge advantage for us, and they've actually held us to 5 points in this quarter.
Parker Boyd back in the ballgame, getting some good minutes tonight. Virgil deflects it out of bounds. Virgil nearly coming away with the steal.
He saw that one, and Cade's going to come back into the ballgame for the Vikings.
Cade in. Dylan Casto will take a break. 3:19 to go and a timeout by Point Pleasant. Full timeout, 47-35, 3:19 remaining here in the third. More Viking basketball after this on C98, The Bull.
We just haven't been able to shake people free. Sometimes you just got to get some more movement, ball movement, without so much dribbling.
No inbound, near wing. Lambert into Barton, down to Chapman on the baseline. Keeps it high, looking for McMillian in the corner. Ball deflected. Parker Boyd kicked it. Thought they were going to get away with it for a split second. Officials say, no, sir, bring the ball back here to the baseline. Point Pleasant pleased with that call. 47-35, 3:06 remaining third period. Lambert under his own basket, into Chapman. And a steal. Kay Good back in the ball game. Comes up with the steal. Barton kind of bowed off of that screen a little bit, and that allowed Cade to come underneath, almost like a defensive back, and steal that one away.
Point Pleasant back in the zone now, Brian. A little 1-2-2. Just got to split the top.
Luke, foul line jumper, short. Virgil keeps it alive, foot on the inline when he comes down. Great effort.
And the Viking fans do not like that call. I don't think Virgil hit the ground before he had that ball back in play.
Break for Point Pleasant. 2:35 to go.
Luke doesn't need to pick up one there.
Stolen. Hedrick with the steal. Boyd tries to throw it off the glass, and not there. Coach Mullins not pleased. And Luke picks up a cheap one in that instance.
Parker getting minutes. He's just got to lay that thing in. Way too early in the game for showtime right now.
Learning opportunity there for Parker Boyd. Here's McMillian. Barton, lefty three on the way, rolls it in. Don't look now, Jeff. 9-point Viking lead.
And we need a wake-up call. We went to sleep here in this third period a little bit, and they're back to man-to-man.
Anderson, top circle. Back to Good, right wing. 2 minutes to go here in the third. 47-38. Luke off to Hedrick. Hedrick, right-hand dribble to Cade in the corner. Baseline drive, cut off, walked with it. Shot no good. Chapman rebounds it. It was definitely a walk. Vikings got away with that one. Chapman into the front court. Off to McMillian. Penetrates. Barton, three. Short. Rebounded by McMillian. Off to Karam. Back to Lambert. Near corner three. In and out. Cade Good with a good block out.
And there, again, the Viking fans wanting over the back. It's Cade, a great box out there. A lot of contact, no call.
47-38. 1:18 clock turning here in the third.
Point back to man-to-man.
Hedrick drives. Good, far corner. Passes back out to Johnson, left of the circle. Back to Myers,
Brady.
right wing. Brady on the block against Lambert. Turns into the paint. Shot up. No good.
Can't get a call.
McMillian with the rebound. Now Asher Robinson up the near side into the front court to our left. Crossover and a good one. In the corner he goes to Barton. Barton back out to McMillian. Down to Chapman at the elbow. He's double teamed. He'll dribble out of it. Looking to get baseline. Now back to Lambert. Right wing three, too strong. Brady boards it.
He's going to keep firing. Now, as you said, he's got the green light, but so far that has been a good option for the Vikings.
Vikings can hold for the final shot with 26 seconds, clock turning, 10-5 quarter. And coach takes a timeout. He's going to get Dylan Casto and Isaiah Casto back in the ball game here for offensive purposes. Draw up a play, full timeout. Jeff, let's keep it here. It's been a good quarter for Point Pleasant. They've made some nice adjustments to get themselves back into this ball game. Josh Williams does a great job with this club, and he's given them a fighting chance with some great play out of Eric Chapman.
This is probably the best Point Pleasant team that Coach Williams has had, at least that I've seen. He's got some pretty good guards. They're young guards, but they do a good job. They shoot the ball pretty well. And, of course, when you got Chapman on the inside, he can make life very difficult for defenders, and he's done that here tonight. Not so much here in the third period. The Vikings have pretty much doubled down on him whenever he catches the ball, making him throw it out to someone else and let them beat you. But we have just been stagnant, just like we were the other night on the offensive end.
You draw up a play here for number 3 in White to try to get him going in the second half?
I think with 24 seconds, we try to see with Eric Chapman out of the game to see if we can get something inside. But it just depends on the defense. They're playing a 1-3-1 now.
Switching up defenses quite often. 15 seconds, clock turning. Dylan back to Isaiah, 10 seconds. Isaiah penetrates, throws it up for Luke. Brings it home, and that's how you beat a 1-3.
Now we got to get a stop, brother.
49-38. Third dunk of the night for the big man, and Point Pleasant can't get a shot off to end the third period. The Vikings double-digit lead as we go to the fourth. Can the Vikings hang on? Stay with us. We'll find out next right here on C98, The Bull.
Collision.
Is home.
Getting his feet in the paint, making the defense come to him, which left the backside wide open, and the big man threw it down.
So Vikings lead it by 11 with 1 quarter remaining in regulation. Barton brings it into the front court from our right to left. Jeff Waybright, Brian Johnson here, all the action. Barton, 3, the lefty, no good. McMillian tracks down the rebound. Vikings getting beat with those loose balls again. Dylan Casto, I think, is going to be called for a personal.
He dove in there, trying to double down.
So Casto picks up his 4th. He'll have to come out of the game. That's a big foul. Virgil Myers will check in.
So with 7:41, Dylan, who really had a hot hand there in the first half for the Vikings off the bench, he picks up foul number 4, and it's going to send Chapman, I do believe, to the foul line.
Right now, a little housekeeping, and the Point Pleasant big man helping.
He can do it all. We talked about it.
He's done it all tonight, no question.
Janitor.
Selling popcorn, you name it.
Let's see if
20 points for the big man.
We can put the broadcaster's jinx on him as he's been a pretty good foul shooter. 1-on-1.
So 1 and the bonus.
17 fouls on the Vikings, only 3 on Point Pleasant, which is that kind of head scratching.
That could be in the Vikings' favor late in the ball game. He misses. So there's the broadcaster's jinx. Cade Good tracks it down. Good work, Jeff. You're making shots fall and making shots miss tonight. So
I wish I could.
7.5 to go here in the ball game. Remember that 3 fouls on Point Pleasant as Point. If they want to put the Vikings at the line, as Luke gets a lay-in, double team. He has 16 tonight.
Got Murphy down low, and that was a huge mismatch.
You think Point Pleasant's probably going to want to put us at the line before too long. They're going to have to start racking up some fouls.
Yeah.
Chapman, he traveled. Thought he got away with it.
Yep, good defense there by the Vikings. Still putting pressure on the big man whenever he catches the ball. They're just immediately, whoever's near will run and double team, and that's caused him a few headaches here in the second half.
So Good will inbound. 3/4 court. And Isaiah will bring it into the front court slowly.
Still man-to-man.
7 minutes to go in the ball game. Isaiah coming near side. Strong with that left-hand dribble. Now Good gets a screen, fakes a 3, drives into the paint, shot up. Good, they're going to count it, and 1. Wow.
He's got hit in either the ribs or the hip, Brian, because he got hit again, and he's trying to work the kinks out as he goes to the foul line. But what a gutsy move, gutsy play by Cade Good. And
that's Chapman, his 3rd. So Cade with 6 now. And Chapman wants a explanation from the official on that call. I thought the Vikings got away with a little continuation there that was probably looked more like an NBA continuation, 54-38.
The Cade Good gutsy gets to the foul line, knocks it down.
Left-hand dribble off to Barton. Myers hounding him out near the circle. Back to Chapman. Johnson reaching, trying to knock the ball loose. Chapman drives, kicks it. McMillian near corner. Too strong. Isaiah rebound.
Here come the Vikings on the fly again with Isaiah.
Good. Back to Isaiah in transition. Off to Anderson. Pump fake.
It's got to be something.
Through the foul of McMillian. That'll be his first personal.
Good pump fake. Not once, but I think twice by Brady. Got him up off the floor. Unless you're a bird, you're in a difficult situation once you leave your feet down there.
In and out. Free throw.
But again, the nemesis of the Vikings, 54-38. And could have extended it even more if we could have just make foul shots. Could possibly be a 20-point game, Brian.
Grayson Tucker into the ball game. Anderson misses both. Josh Chapman clears it. 6:10 to go. Vikings missing free throws. Point Pleasant stays alive.
Virgil
deflected it, nearly came away with the steal. And Murphy just lets it go out of bounds. I think he was confused.
A lot of pressure out there. You know, the coaching staff for the Vikings said we're going to try to turn up the heat on them and see how they like it. I'm surprised they haven't taken Luke out of the game. Looks like he's got some blood on his left elbow over there. Let's see if we'll let him play through it.
He's chasing 1,000 points in his career. He's not going to want to come out. He's a little over 100 points away. Here's make it 98, maybe 97 as he gets an and one opportunity.
Chapman, I think he picks up his 4th, that being Josh Chapman.
That is his 4th. Luke with 18 points now. Josh will come out. Josh Chapman, that is.
Robinson back in the game. That's a huge size change there from Chapman to Robinson.
Another missed free throw. Virgil skies for the board. Vikings get another opportunity.
And that Virgil is pesky, and there's a 3.
3 in the corner. That's what happens when you get extra opportunities with offensive rebounds. 59-38, 21-point Viking lead. Shot by Tucker, no good. Rebounded by Viking big man Luke Johnson. Isaiah in transition lays it up and in.
And the Vikings doing what they do best, partner.
61-38. Vikings running away with it here in the fourth. Chapman.
Out of control. You've got to be kidding me.
Block foul on Brady Anderson. I'm just going to say this. Watch the body control of Eric Chapman. He was out of control, Jeff, but the body control for that big guy was very impressive. You had that big a frame moving that fast with Luke Johnson on his right, Brady in front of him, and somehow he was able to get a shot up on the glass. Third foul on Brady. Dylan will check in. Next dead ball.
Chapman knocks down the first one.
So Brady will come out. Dylan Casto will come in. Chapman with 21 here tonight. It's been a great duel between he and Luke Johnson. Two guys that go about it in a different way. Both very effective. Free throw up and in. 61-40.
He's got a really nice stroke, Brian. He releases the ball very nicely, and that is what really makes him a threat.
Isaiah goes to work on Barton. Barton cuts off by Robinson. Down to Luke. Dunks it home.
Count it.
Chapman going to be whistled for the foul. Luke did a great job sealing him off that time and then taking a hard move to the basket. Two-handed flush. Foul on Chapman is fourth.
And Brian, we saw that a little bit down at Winfield. Luke was able to seal from that side very well. Catch it, got him on your backside, and then just finish it.
Free throw no good. Virgil with another rebound, another layup by Luke. Virgil keeping everything alive.
He's unbelievable. They just don't understand how he can jump, but he slides his way in there.
65-40, Barton in transition, no good. Rebounded by Casto.
And here come the Vikings.
Isaiah into the front court.
25-point advantage for the Vikings.
Left-hand shot, no good. Rebounded by Chapman. Vikings back on defense. Here's Murphy. Left-hand dribble to Tucker, to Robinson. Baseline drop, back to Murphy. Three, left wing, in and out. Virgil boards it.
Virgil with another rebound. And Coach Smullen's slow it down a little bit. Got everything in control.
40 with 4 minutes remaining in this one. Vikings looking to cruise to 11-0. 3-0 in sectional play. Good. Baseline drive, lays it up and in through the contact. Cade with 12.
And Cade's been banged up, and he's showing a lot of guts. Still taking the ball in there strong and finishing. And you can tell he's got a little hitch in his get along. But he's gutting it out.
Full timeout on the floor. Vikings lead about 27. We'll step out. More Viking basketball after this. So T98, the Bull.
Could be up maybe 30, but bottom line is guys like Virgil Myers have stepped up and got some key rebounds on the offensive end. Luke has finished. Brady's in there banging around. It's fun to watch.
They're going to put Parker Boyd back in there, the ever-athletic Viking forward, small forward, and a turnover, as you said, on Grayson Tucker. He's getting a reprieve after he tried to throw one off the board a little bit ago. Another opportunity. I'm glad to see that for Parker. He is a hard-nosed kid.
He's been playing really well.
He's been very good on the football field, too, for the last couple of years. Brady, uncontested, lays it up, can't connect. Virgil boards it, back to Dillon, 3, far corner. No good. Virgil with another rebound. Shot blocked by Chapman. Wow. Here's a steal by Parker. Off to Dillon. Floater, good.
Wow. Good job by Parker Boyd that time as he saw Dillon flashing down the lane.
Here's Chapman. Ball foul on Parker Boyd, his first.
It's team foul number 9 now on the Vikings. They'll be in the double bonus. But look, Brian, we've inched our way up to 7 team fouls on Point Pleasant. Rhodes into the game for the Vikings. He'll replace Brady and
Hedrick in as well.
He's going to replace Isaiah.
Chapman to the line. He has 22. 69-40 the score. Up and in. 23.
He's going to continue to pad his stat line here with both Viking bigs out of the game. Vikings comfortably lead this thing. Coach Mullins getting some experience for his youngsters as they going to get about 3 minutes here if they don't fool around here and let Point Pleasant back in this game, but that would be a huge task.
Another timeout by Point Pleasant. We'll take one as well. 69-42 your score, 3:10 remaining in the ball game. Stay with us. More Viking basketball after this on C98.
Hi, this is Jim.
Garrett Rhodes and Virgil Myers. 3:10 remaining. Hedrick gets it. They're going to trap him. He'll dribble out up the far sideline. Left-hand dribble. Off to Rhodes. Back to Hedrick. Hedrick to Myers, right of the circle. Dylan Casto now, right wing. He'll drive. Reverses it in the corner to Boyd. Boyd shoots a 3. Too strong. High Murphy for the rebound. Good look for Parker.
Here comes the Black Knights on the fly.
Murphy all the way to the basket. The Vikings didn't stop the basketball, and they're going to be called for the foul. We'll see who gets tagged.
I think Hedrick.
That's Hedrick, as you said, his first. 2 shots now for Point Pleasant as they are in the double bonus. Peyton Murphy, free throw. Front of the iron, rolls in. He has 5 tonight. 69-43 with 2:43 remaining in the ball game. Second one, up and in. 6 for Murphy.
And Brian, Point Pleasant came in here with a great game plan. I don't know what they could have done differently. Coach Williams had a good plan. Just too much Vikings here in the second half.
Dylan Casto 3. Got it. He has 20. Feeling it tonight. 72-44. Quick throw ahead. Here's Barton. Baseline. Floater. Short. Gets his own rebound. Going to be fouled by Garrett Rhodes. Good play by Barton.
And, you know, I've seen them do that closeout drill. And the one thing you don't do when you close out is leave your feet, because then they go by you and get the offensive board, and that's exactly what happened. We had him dead to rights on that baseline, and all we had to do was just stay, box him out, and we get the rebound.
Barton lefty, up and in. He has 9. 72-45. 23-7 quarter here in the fourth as the Vikings use the even-numbered quarters to put some space between them as Chapman gets the rebound off the miss. and he's going to be fouled, and he's going to the line. That's Hedrick again, his second. 2 shots for Chapman.
And you get to the point, Brian, where you know you don't have a chance to win this game, and he is their money in the bank. And you don't want to take a chance of him getting undercut or something, not intentionally, but it's just in the fray, because he's going to go for everything. We're going to try to box him out. You get that big guy injured, your season's gone.
This team looks totally different without Eric Chapman. He's looking for point 25 and 26. He's got 25. First from up and in.
And again, he's got over half their points. But look at the lead the Vikings have.
Some hot shooting, some good defense. Been the difference for the Vikings tonight. Second one good. 26 for the Point Pleasant big man. Quick pass ahead to Garrett Rhodes. He'll pass it back to Myers. Myers drives it into the paint. Hedrick, good strong take as the Lee got in the air. And he's going to count that?
If he does, there is continuation. Yeah, he's going to give it to him.
So another break for the Vikings.
Coach Mahomes kind of looking over with a wry grin. Hey!
Hedrick makes the free throw. He's got 3 tonight. 75-47. Here's Murphy. Throws it ahead to Wesley. Wesley Lee, that is, excuse me. Now Chapman. Step back. Back to McMillian. Whoa. He travels. 1:53 remaining. 75-47 your score. Vikings headed to 11-0 as they inch closer to 15-0, Jeff. It's not out of the realm of possibility now. You certainly don't want to think too far ahead, just one at a time. But from our perspective, we have the ability to do that because you and I aren't shooting shots out there. Parker Boyd's shot won't go. Good take. Chapman clears it.
Good strong move. Found his way right to the hoop.
Chapman, 2-on-1. Shot no good. Rebounded by Virgil. Virgil has, I'm excited to see how many rebounds Virgil has tonight. I think he has 4 or 5, maybe 6 offensive rebounds. 1:20 to go. 75-47. Vikings just going to run a little weave here at the top circle, and Virgil shoots a free throw jumper, gets his own rebound. Of course he does. Back to Parker Boyd for 3. Too strong. Cleared by McMillian. On the other end, Chapman tries to dunk it. No good.
Hedrick comes out there with it.
He'll bring it into the front court. Under a minute remaining. Virgil, right wing, thought about a 3. Now to Hedrick, left wing. Wesley Lee guarding him. Hedrick into the paint, loses it. Stolen.
Wrong place to go with 33 standing there.
Here comes Lee to McMillian. Nice move. Can't shake free of the defense of Parker Boyd. Chapman with Hedrick guarding him. That's a mismatch. Showing off the ball skills between the leg dribble. Tries to go up and under, turns it over. Stolen by Dylan Casto. And the Vikings can dribble the clock out. Coach Mullins telling him, no shot, guys. Dribble it out. 15 seconds. 75-47. Vikings 11-0 in 2022-23. What a start by this group. Clock down to 1. Double zeros. It's official. Put it in the books. 11-0. We'll return with Viking head coach Derek Mullins after this. Right here on C98, The Bull. Mullins, Coach, you're 11-0, man. Got to feel good. What a great performance by your guys tonight.
Yeah, I'm not satisfied. I don't think we played very good. Our first quarter was sluggish. I told them we can't come out here flat-footed. We knew they were a good team. We knew the Chapman was a handful, and he ate us up in the first quarter. We had to make a couple little adjustments. Biggest thing was we were trying to speed them up. We knew at a half-court set if they were going at their own pace, they were a pretty good offensive team, so we really wanted to speed them up and try to make them turn it over, shoot the first quick shot that they had, and we didn't do a good job in the first quarter. And luckily into the second quarter, midway through, we got a boost from Dylan Caston making a bunch of threes. His confidence is sky high right now, making a lot of those shots, and we kind of build off that. Came out of the halftime, out of the locker room in the third quarter and did a lot better job of speeding them up. But again, I don't think we played very good. I know we won by 28, but still not satisfied with how we played.
Coach, when you see those shots falling, Dylan's making that shot. You've got Cade making shots. You got Virgil who throws one in there at the end of the half. You see how it affects their defense. You got an easy lob play at the end of one of the quarters because all of those shots are falling. Their defense had extended out on the perimeter, and it was pretty much one-on-one down on the block for your big guys. You guys are tough to defend when shots are falling.
Yeah, it's something I know me and you've talked about, how if we can make shots, it's just going to make our offensive game so much better for our bigs down low. Of course, our bigs is what gets us going, but when we make shots, we're even a tougher team to beat. But I thought our defense wasn't very good tonight. There was a lot of straight line drives. We didn't have a whole lot of help side. We knew they had some good shooters, but we were making them seem like they were Steph Curry out there on the three-point line, sticking to them too much. I know the past couple games, our scouts kind of been to where we are kind of sticking to a couple guys, not necessarily helping a whole lot, but we did that with these guys as well. We told them at halftime we can't do that. We got to help and we got to dig and dump, double down on Chapman, especially on some of the non-threats on offense. And I thought we did a better job of that in the second half.
Coach, I was just going to say, you could see the adjustments at halftime when we came out. Not only did we double down, but we got them in a situation where they weren't comfortable. When we were running and jumping and doing things like that and feeling they were throwing it right to us, created a lot of offense for us. So congratulations on the adjustments at halftime, because it really showed in the second half. It slowed Chapman down. He wasn't able to go where he wanted to go, and because of that, we could get some runouts.
Yeah, turnovers. We talked to him about when we do get turnovers, we got to kind of get some buckets out of it. We did that, especially in the second half, getting some layups, taking our time, getting some good shots. Sometimes it rushed us into shooting a quick shot, but in the second half, again, our goal was to speed him up. Chapman is a heck of a ball player whenever he's patient and under control and doing what he wants to do. So we want to kind of get him out of his comfort zone, so to speak, and kind of make somebody else beat us whenever he does have it down the post or whenever he's handling the ball. But he's a heck of a ball player. I know that coach will have them ready to go whenever we end up playing them again, more than likely later in the year.
Coach, you're at the midpoint of the regular season, 11-0. This has been a crucial 5-game stretch for you. When I looked at this a few weeks ago, I thought, man, if you can win 3 of those 5 games, you're in good shape. You've won 5 of those games. Now, talk about the emotional toll it's taken on your team a little bit, not just physically, but mentally, because you've been grinding for the last 2.5 weeks.
Yeah, it's definitely been a grind. We've only really been playing 2 games a week, but as much as we do when it comes to preparation for each and every game, between breakdown of each game from the day before, we do that usually. We watch them scout, then we go over scout and practice. It's just, there's a lot of stuff on these kids' minds that they're probably not used to in high school basketball, and I think it's really helping us out when it comes to game-like situations. But proud of the guys. Like you said, I'm going 5 for 5 with the gauntlet that we had with all the sectional opponents that we played. If you would have asked me beginning of the season, I said maybe 3, maybe 4, but these guys have bought into what we've been trying to do throughout the year and in the fall and the summer, and it's really paying off for them.
Got a few days off, Coach. You got Grafton coming in here on Saturday afternoon. What do you expect to see out of them?
So their coach contacted me before the season, and actually I saw him at the state tournament. He was a state tournament team, and I thought they'd be a pretty good team coming in. They have a good player, or a couple good guys. I haven't watched a whole lot of film. I know I've talked to you all about being just worrying about our next opponent, so I'm going to enjoy this one tonight, and then tomorrow we'll get after it and see what they have in store. I know they're usually a well-coached team. They got some good players. But again, I'm not really for sure what's going on. I was just worried about Point Pleasant and getting the win tonight.
Go take a deep breath, Coach. You're 11-0. Enjoy this one, and we'll see you Saturday afternoon.
Sounds good. Appreciate it.
Viking head coach Derek Mullins with another big victory here tonight as the historic run of his club continues to 11-0, as we mentioned a moment ago. And it was the strength of the even quarters tonight, Jeff, for the Vikings. The second and the fourth period, they were able to pull away from Point Pleasant. Pretty spirited effort by Point Pleasant in the first quarter, and then part of the way through that second. And then the shots started falling as Dylan Casto had himself a night.
22-11 second quarter, 26-9 fourth period, Brian. You said it. Dylan came in and was like the microwave. He got hot in a hurry, and we were able to extend that lead out. You know, we scored 20 points in the first period, and I'm telling you what, that's pretty good. But we gave up 17, and it was basically all Eric Chapman for the Point Pleasant Black Knights. But you know, we righted the ship. We started making shots, extended the lead out, and as you said, never looked back. So great win here for the Vikings, Coach Mullins. And
you could hear his disdain for the defense.
He was not happy.
That's something that they will work on tomorrow. Shots are falling. We're all excited that we put 75 points on the board. He's upset they gave up 47. So, you know, that's his mindset, and it's worked so far, Jeff, 11-0.
Well, I was in here the other day and watched them a little bit, and, you know, they were really working hard on closing out and recovering. And he goes over that every day with these guys. I mean, they go good on good, big on big. They don't, it's not JV versus varsity. They match them up and go at it. And, yeah, he is a defensive coach. He wants our kids to get down and get stops, and when they don't, he'll make note of it, and they'll work on it and get it corrected.
You and I will be back here Saturday afternoon. As we mentioned a moment ago, the Vikings will host Grafton on Saturday afternoon. But before that, Friday night we'll be back in the seat here to call Lady Viking basketball as they play host to the Red Devils from Ravenswood. And that's going to be a highly sought-after Friday night game after Ravenswood getting the best of the Vikings over in Ravenswood at the Pit a few weeks ago. Should be a good one. Lady Vikings splitting games in a tournament up in Fairmont over the weekend. So this will be a big game Friday night. Lady Vikings, as I said, as you mentioned, ranked 3rd in the state.
We should be at full strength. We didn't have Abby Eastman. She got hurt in warm-ups over there, and it was a pretty emotional deal for the Lady Vikings. So we'll be at full strength, and we'll be at home. So bring them on. Revenge tour starts for the Lady Vikings, and it'll be fun.
We'll be here with our guys from Mountaintop Media, who will be here to bring you that game Friday night, as well as we sign off here tonight from the Health Center. We say thank you to all of our sponsors of Viking basketball all season long on C98 The Bull. Special thanks to Rick Shannon, our station manager, and Jennifer Redmond back at Viking Control. Your final score from the Health Center, the Vikings 75, the Black Knights 47. For Jeff Waybright, I'm Brian Johnson. We got another one for Rube here tonight. Have a great night. God bless.